Grayson?
Yep.
All right. Hey, thank you all for coming today. For those of you who have not had the opportunity to meet, or at least meet on a one-to-one basis, my name is Mark Jordan. I am one of the pastors here at Trinity at the Well, and I am so happy that each and every one of you are here today. This is the second training session that we're doing today to get ready for summer feeding program. It begins this Wednesday, and as of right now, all of our slots are filled, but we need alternates, and we only set up a minimum number of slots for 2. Ideally, we could have 3 or 4 different servants who are there at the site. That way we make sure that there's enough coverage for everything that's taking place. But the way that it will begin is about 10:20 in the morning. We start Wednesday, but about 10:20 in the morning, you'll come to the office area, the front office entrance in the front part of the building. And right inside there, we're going to have these 2 tables. This one is set up, I'll show you that in a minute, but this is the other one, they're identical tables. And the reason I chose these is, first of all, they're light. I mean, one thumb, couple fingers, but it also folds. And when you unfold it, it sets low. Now the reason this is important, I mean this is a personal preference for me, but I think it's important because when the food gets delivered, and the food should be delivered around 10:45. Sometimes that fluctuates, but we say get there at 10:30 because if the city has to wait on us, they get very, very angry. So if we get there about 10:30, that gives us time to get all set up, get everything in the right place. These 2 tables will be set up. Then representatives from the Cartersville City Nutrition Department will bring the food in containers. They are like cold coolers and hot coolers. And so there'll be 2 or 3, depending on what they're serving that day. And when they go on the table, they'll set about yay high, you can just reach right in. If the tables are up at full table or height or counter height, you're having to reach in. So I like it at this height because it puts it at a real easy way for you to serve. So you'll have that. We will also send a bag of bags. These are just grocery sacks. So you'll have these in the event the kids want to take back some of the items for their lunch, but more on that in a little bit. So more on that in a few minutes. But you'll have this bag of bags. If you've served in the past, you may remember or recall that we had a Rubbermaid bin. The city is going to be providing all of those supplies to us this year, so we do not have to get that bin. All you'll be taking this year will be the 2 tables and the bag of bags. So when the city delivers the food, they'll have, as of right now, or last that we heard, it was a purple canvas, I'm thinking Cartersville High School, purple hurricane canvas bag with sanitizing wipes, with the poster that we have to display. We'll just tape it to the table, and serving gloves, food service gloves. And so you'll wear those. Okay, so the basic idea is you'll come here 10:20-ish, and then you'll go right down Henderson Road here, where Henderson dead ends, this direction. And then you'll serve in that field that connects the Cartersville Gardens apartment complexes and housing developments. You'll note, if you've seen it, there's a playground and a basketball goal area. We usually serve, if you're looking at it from Old Mill Road, we usually serve on the left-hand side underneath the trees. The trees provide great shade and some protection in the event of rain. If it's a big, heavy rain day, we still serve. We have a tent that's in the table, in the closet here, that we can go and set up. Now I'm going to be around virtually every day during the summer feeding program, so if you have any questions, any concerns, or just need any help getting started, let me know. I will go with you and get you set up. If I need to stay, I will. But I just want you to know you have the opportunity to reach out to me, and I will help make this as easy and as painless as possible.
I'm sorry, did you just say you're going to go and help us set up?
If you'd like for me to.
Okay, because I'm pretty useless when it comes to,
You were very useful, Miss Donna.
I'm more body to be there, but when it comes to helping set things up, I'm not much good.
I'll help. We'll get you help. If I'm not there, we'll get you help.
Okay.
As I mentioned, we set up a minimum of 2 servants per day, but I would love to have 3 or 4. And I know Miss Laura with the youth, she's going to be assigning youth to go and help us as well. So we will have more than 2 or 3 per day.
Who are we feeding? People in the garden?
Yes. Well, yeah, we'll get to that. It's the children. It's the children.
Okay.
And so I mentioned this, if you had any questions, to reach out and contact me. My personal cell phone number is 678-549 678-549-8221. Again, that's 678-549-8221. My email, if you want it, is mark@trinity@thewell.com. It all goes to my iPhone and to my tablet, so you can reach out to me any way, and especially during summer feeding. It's right here. I'm right ready in case anything comes up and you need any help. And as you know, we're only, I can be there in a minute, like literally. So never hesitate to let me know if you have any questions or any concerns. So anything before we get started in the rest of the training, go through the checklist? Okay, as I might have mentioned.
What's the last four digits you both need?
8221. So 678-549-8221. And as I mentioned before the training, some people took notes on this and wanted to submit another checklist. If you want to do that, that is fine. We have plenty. We can make more copies. But this year, this is an FDA program. This is a federally mandated program, and every year they're auditing a certain number of groups that serve. And this year is one of the years that we are being audited, which is why we're really clamping down on the rules. And I say we, it's the Cartersville City. Just to give you an idea, based on the nutrition department statistics, they prepare 800 some odd meals a day for Cartersville City. Now the summer feeding program for all of Bartow County runs out of Cartersville High School, and so they're going to be preparing some 4,800 meals a day. So I'm not good with math, especially during the summer, but they're used to preparing 800 meals. They're going to be pushing 5,000 a day. And so they need us to be as strict and as close to these guidelines as absolutely possible. They did tell us that one infraction can potentially cause the entire program in Bartow County to be shut down. So one infraction could mean the entire program for all of Bartow County gets shut down. So they want us to be very, very diligent in following the rules and going through this order. So we have the checklist, really quickly, the checklist. If you'll take your attention, turn your attention to the checklist. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. Again, you can take a copy with you if you want. Feel free to ask questions as we go, because I want to make sure that we are all on the same page as we get ready to start on Wednesday. First of all, we start on Wednesday, June 5th through July 12th. The sign-ups that I did for Trinity at the Well only include the dates that Trinity at the Well are serving. So I've not done any sign-ups for First Pres. Okay, you got it, cool? And so First Presbyterian is doing every Monday and every other Wednesday beginning on June 12th. Next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. We've got this Wednesday covered. First Presbyterian has every Monday and then every other Wednesday starting Wednesday week. And Trinity at the Well has, from this Wednesday, the rest of those dates.
Oh, okay.
I might have described that last one kind of backwards. June 5th, which is Wednesday, through July 12th. And the First Pres is covering every Monday and then every other Wednesday, beginning Wednesday week. There will be a break on June 28th, which is Administrative Day due to the audit, as well as July 4th and 5th for the 4th of July holiday. But all of that is represented in the sign-up that we ran through Sign Up Genius online, which you've seen on our website or our Facebook page. Okay, so the deadline to submit paperwork is already passed. I took care of that back in April, so you can click that one off. That one's an easy one, right? Easy one. Okay, so when they do
initials or checks?
Check's fine. The third one says meal count changes in supplies. That number there is for, her name is Tiffany Talent. She is the director of the nutrition services for Cartersville City Schools. And she is the one who's going to be handling the day-to-day food count things. And the reason that this is important is that we are going to start with only 40 meals. We've done this in the past. It's a lot fewer than in the past. So we're only starting with 40 meals. If we get to Wednesday, and we have 2 veterans who are serving that day, and we have a lot more than 40 kids show up, they are going to be ready with food kind of in holding to bring to us. So if you get there and we have 40 or 50 meals, whatever, we have a lot of kids show up, this is the number, the 770-383-1337. That's the number that you call or text to get more food. And they're going to be ready for us to get more food. One of the reasons that this is necessary is that a lot of the places that serve are happening in churches or in schools or in facilities. We are one of the few groups, I don't know if it's four or not, one of the few groups that is actually going out into a site, and that's why they're delivering the food to us. And so if we need an addition to the number of food meals that they provide, that's the number they bring to us. Okay, so now the fourth blank is pick up the meals. Now we don't have to pick up since they are delivering. They're going to deliver to us at Cartersville Gardens, but we have to be ready to receive it at 10:45-ish. That time is subject to change. I've asked the city because last year sometimes they didn't get there till well after 11. They're going to work on their timing, and so hopefully we'll have that nailed down before we begin this week. But they are in the process of trying to coordinate that. The next one is menu. Meals will be served on site. This year, like in the last couple of years, the meals are going to be served. Think of like a lean cuisine or a Stouffer's frozen meal, like the black tray that's sealed with the cellophane. Some of the meals will be hot, like chicken nuggets or lasagna, pasta, things like that. Some of the meals will be cold, like an Uncrustable or a turkey sandwich or something like that. And so they'll bring the meals. The entree will be in that black plastic container with the cellophane, but there may be additions. There will be like a juice or a milk, whatever the city has received that day, and probably a snack, maybe some fruit snacks or some fruit, something like that. And so that's the reason that we have the bags, is that there'll be multiple items that will be served. Now, as you'll see in a few minutes, we'll go ahead and bring this up now. All of the food must be consumed on site. This is different from years past. All of the food must be consumed on site. Now, this is going to be one of the areas where particularly the kids who have participated in this in the past they're going to ask some questions, because they're used to being able to come up and say, I want meals for my entire family. That's not going to be able to happen this year. They can't, just based on the federal regulations, that cannot happen this year. So only children who come to the site will be able to get a meal, and that meal must be consumed there at the site, up against the fence, at the playground, basketball goal, something along those lines. It has to be served. Every kid who comes to the line can come through the line once. Now, as you'll see a little bit later, if there is enough food for seconds, you can offer them seconds. But whereas in the past we may have sent food for 5 or 6 kids back up into their apartment complex, we can't do that. We can't do that this year, which is why the city is only starting us with 40 meals as opposed to somewhere around 100. So every child, 18 and under, graduated seniors and younger, 18 and younger, graduated seniors all the way to babies can get a meal. Adults who have disabilities can also get a meal. If there's a disability, even adults can get those meals. Okay? Any questions about that? Because that's going to probably be one of the most, the trickiest things, especially as we get started. Yes, Beth?
For the people that are receiving the meals, are they getting information out beforehand? Has some method been telling them that you no longer take the food back to your apartment or take extra food? You know, will this be the first time they have heard of this?
I do not know by the city, but what I talked to Laura about the other day was that she was thinking about having the youth go and put up some flyers indicating some of the changes in the rules. And Laura did go with me when we did the training at the city so that she can train the youth. And so I think that's probably a good idea. That was something that was mentioned in the first training session as well. Just to take a very simple flyer to say all the food must be consumed there at the site.
So what do we do if somebody brings their parents through the line?
Can't serve the parents unless they have a disability.
What constitutes a disability?
Exactly. I was going to say, how do you know if it's not a physical?
Do we have to give any proof, or if they say they're disabled, is that satisfactory?
Use your discretion.
Okay.
I think if they say they're disabled, I wouldn't question it. We're not asking for IDs.
What do we do if they try?
Say that I'm not allowed to. We're only allowed to give to children.
No, I mean, if the children try to take it to
Oh,
their
oh.
apartment, what are we
Please,
there? What are
come
we
back.
supposed to do?
Come back. Please, come back.
I mean,
Someone asked if we should tackle them. The city.
Have a sign made up.
Yeah.
What you gotta do.
Well,
They get in line.
if they sit down and start eating and then pick it up and go with it.
I think that's good. We will still have those bags for that reason.
We just want to be sure that they're going to be.
Right, exactly. One of the reasons this is important on the back is one of the things. The food safety is a big issue. There have been some systems, I don't believe Cartersville has dealt with that, but there have been some systems where groups would keep food out for 3 or 4 hours in the sun. As you could imagine, the food will turn, people get sick, and they're suing the schools or suing the school system or the federal government. Another reason for the clampdown, they're trying to protect food safety. So if we serve the food and they eat it there within just a couple minutes, then there's a protection on the school systems in regarding food safety. But things like milk and stuff, I don't imagine the kids are going to want to drink milk in the middle of the day. They try to get as much juice as possible, but again, it's what they get sent by the government. So the school system doesn't have a whole lot of control over that. But that's what the bags are for. So if the kids want to take their fruit cups, they want to take their milk things back home, that's fine. That's fine. The idea is we want to try to get them to eat their entree. Eat the entree there at the site, or as much of it as they can.
Well, if they're eating, you know, they're not taking it and selling it somewhere.
Well, yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. There will be a sign, it's a little poster that will be delivered by the school system when they bring the food each day. It says "For Justice for All." That's what's mentioned there under the "Prepare Your Site" in the bold letters. There should be some tape. If there's not, we'll get tape for you. But we'll just tape that to the tables, and that is it's government legalese. It says everyone is welcome to get a meal as long as they are 18 and younger, and also or adults with disabilities. Any questions on that? I think we also covered the access to meals, 18 and under, or people with disabilities of all ages.
They sit on the ground to eat.
Sit on the ground to eat. Serve one meal to each child before meal service. All right, so we've covered the first page. Any questions before we turn the page? We've also mainly covered the top of the second page. Again, there will be hand sanitizer and there will be food service gloves, so that you're ready to go. There's another number. The number there again for Miss Tiffany Talent is the same. If you have any issues with the food, that's the number to call. If you want to call them, great. If you want to call me and have me call them, that's fine too. Again, during the summer feeding program hours, I'm Johnny on the spot with my phone, text, and email. So don't hesitate to let me know.
Can you spell her last name?
Tallent. Tiffany Talent.
And when you call her, does she bring it for that day, or does it change for the next day?
It will change for the next day.
Okay.
The changes will automatically roll over to the next day.
Okay, so that day you'll just kind of be sure.
Yep.
Okay.
But, well, I'm sorry. If she has food to bring, she'll bring it.
Okay.
They are planning to have some in reserve just in case.
Okay.
And so if say we ended up needing 50 meals on Wednesday, then they'll bring 50 meals on Thursday.
Right. And
But-
if they have any, they'll bring it on Wednesday.
Right, right. On the other hand, if we only serve 35 meals, they're going to bring 35 meals on Thursday. And so I know some people, I'm not naming names, but I know some people in the past, as soon as they got their count sheet, they just went ahead and checked off however many boxes of this little count sheet you'll get, check it off for however many meals we deliver. This year, only check off the meals that we serve. So if we end up having leftovers, the leftovers can go to the Good Neighbor Shelter over on Porter Street. You can bring them back here. We can help get them there if you need us to help you out with that. But if we're only serving like 35 meals, the school system needs to know that. Again, this is part of that. They're clamping down on some of the regulations. We only account for the meals that we serve that day. Yes, ma'am.
All right, you said we could offer 10 seconds.
Yes.
Now, if you serve 35 meals and you give out 5 seconds, you have to account for that does that count as 40 meals? Or?
This says if that happens, adjust your meal count. So I would imagine that they want us to adjust it down.
Yeah, see, or I would say we served 35 and so many came back for seconds.
Yeah.
Now, can
So-
they take that second home with them, or they have to eat that one there too?
I would let them take that second home with them. I mean, I would probably. Unless I see a white van off in the distance with a clipboard.
I'd be black.
Yeah, they generally are all white. 2 years ago, I was serving on a day when they audited us, and it was obvious that they were there. It was obvious. It was obvious.
So we
It
need
was
to
in a-
know the rules.
But you need to know the rules. You need to follow the rules, because like I said, this is what they told us. Now, it's probably one of those things they're telling you worst case scenario. There's going to be a whole lot of grace in between. But they said one infraction, you could lose it for the entire school system. And there was a pastor at church. They're another one of the churches that go into a housing development. And they said that the parents would never bring their kids. That they actually hand delivered the food in bags. And they said, you can't do that. And the pastor got up and left and said, I'm calling Representative Loudermill. But that was how tense it was in the meeting. The school system was saying, we've got to do everything we can to abide by these rules. Because even if
Lose federal funding.
you lose federal funding, you lose the program. And if one person messes up, again, I mentioned almost 5,000 meals a day they're anticipating serving. That's 5,000 kids or 5,000 meals that they would not be able to get. So that's why we got to follow the rules. That's why we got to follow the rules. And I know it's hard.
Do the rules say after a certain time the food is bad, you can't serve it to the kids, but you can't to the Good Neighbor Shelter?
Yeah. We finish at noon.
Okay.
And generally speaking, you will know the kids are used to this, and those who've served in the past. They'll start showing up about 10:45. They know the van. They'll start showing up when the van arrives. They'll get their food, and then generally within 15-20 minutes after the van arrives, it's quiet. Am I wrong? I mean, that's pretty much the way that it goes. And so sometimes by 11:30 you'll be gone. You'll be
When
done.
the food is gone, you leave.
When the food is gone, you leave. That's right. Yeah. And if we have 10 kids waiting, then we need to adjust the count number.
But you may or may not get 10 more that day, depending on if
Right.
they have.
If it's later in the serving time, I wouldn't just say we ran out and adjust the count number for the next day.
So if you got people that you can't feed, you call her?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, there's some discretion. They're like latecomers, late stragglers. If you have 10 people coming as we're cleaning up, then we need to tell them to get here a little bit earlier, especially if we hand out seconds. But if you get a rush right there when the food's first delivered and we run out, or we're going to run out, that's when we call. The idea is to be done by noon.
How far away are they?
Cartersville High School.
They bring the food up here.
Yeah, from the high school.
If they have it.
If they have it, yeah, if they have it.
So you just tell the kids to wait, the food's coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when you call this number, they'll let you know if it's coming or not.
Oh, yeah.
They'll let you know.
If it's not, you gotta tell the kids they can't eat.
That's right.
Yeah.
Come back early tomorrow.
Come back earlier tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, come back tomorrow.
English.
Yeah.
Do we bring the tables and bags back here?
Yes, they
to the
do.
office, and then we take the coolers back to Carson High?
Yes, yes.
Okay, the back.
Right, in the back.
Okay.
So yeah, Denise said it right. When you're done serving, you'll bring the tables and the bag of bags back here to the church. Front office, the main entrance to the office will be waiting on you. There's an intercom button there if you haven't been to the front office here. Just ring the intercom and it rings into the office. And I'll generally try to come out and meet you if I can. If not, we'll get you some help getting stuff in. Then the food serving containers and the bag of the supplies goes back to Cartersville High School. And it's in the back of the high school, the loading dock for the cafeteria. You'll take the food serving supplies as well as the count sheet. You take the count sheet and you'll turn it in there. There's generally a lot of activity there, so it's easy to see it when you get there. There'll be all coolers and things lined up, people out there receiving the stuff, so you shouldn't have any problem finding it.
With the
Do you just
construction,
leave it or do you get it checked back?
You'll check it back in. There'll be somebody out there.
I was gonna say with the construction they're doing on the field house, people may wanna turn off of Nelson Street rather than trying to turn off of Tennessee Street.
Yeah, it's a
Sometimes
mess
blocked.
back there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point.
It looks like you're not supposed to go in off Nelson Street, but when school's not in session,
You can.
So like if you're heading toward the gym, I mean, my son goes to high school, but I don't go back to
You know where Tuesday morning and all of those, just right by the school board office.
Okay,
turn in.
go there.
It's all ahead.
Yeah.
They
by
generally
7.
unload it for you, or do you have to take it?
I don't know.
That's our question.
Yeah, we'll get you some help. And Miss Anna, I'll look to see who's serving with you, and we'll make sure y'all are set.
Okay.
I'll take a look at that before you leave today.
I wanna help, but I'm afraid, I don't wanna be hit.
You're not gonna be here. I promise. I promise. I promise. And so yeah, we covered that. Take the bag of the supplies and the food service containers back to the high school. The tables and things come back here. There's a dumpster. You can use the bag of bags if you need to pick up trash. There's a dumpster right there by what we serve. So leave it all there. Last year we did have some issues with kids who were leaving trash and things. So we had to be a little more diligent with making sure we didn't have refuse in the field. So if you'll help us with that, that would be great. Again, make sure the meal count form is complete. Collect all the stuff, take it back to the high school, and then, yeah.
Are you saying there should be some dumpsters or something where we're feeding them?
Yes, yes.
Do they need more bags?
You can always bring bags. We have a lot in storage, but
okay.
we take them.
Okay.
Because when we do backpack buddies, we're going through 600 a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're always taking bags.
Okay.
There were a couple people who couldn't come today, they're working. They just need to fill this out and maybe scan it into you.
Yes, that'd be
And
fine.
then, are you,
It's being videoed. We're going to upload it to YouTube and our Facebook page.
okay, and then they just need to fill this out. somehow
Yes.
get it.
Yes. I plan to see if we can get this form on our website,
Okay.
and that way you can download it, or we get it scanned in, we can email it.
What, is there a deadline or just?
We have to have it the day you serve.
Okay.
And is it okay if I bring my children?
Yes.
Serve?
Yep.
Dragging them with me?
Yeah, we only need forms for those who are 18 and older.
Teach them, yeah.
For adults.
Yeah,
But yeah,
absolutely.
we have
Okay,
quite
I
a
just
few
wanted to make
families
sure it
bring
was
their kids.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quite a few families that bring their kids.
No, they said they wanted to.
Yeah, it's a great experience. Great experience.
If a youth is 18 years old and helping, they still need to fill out a form.
I wouldn't. Under 18, I wouldn't worry about a form. But you know what? It's one of those things.
Do it anyway.
Do it anyway. That's
Do it
right.
anyway.
That's right. I'd rather.
Somebody in charge needs Nate.
Whoever's boss is.
Yeah. So, Dana, you're in charge of
I'm in
everything.
charge of it, okay.
Whoever wears the hat.
Yeah.
So if you get a guy coming out of the cigar and he says he's under 18, you feed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you see a white van off in the distance with a clipboard. It really does move pretty smoothly once we get into a routine. The kids know it; they're expecting it. I will work with Laura Willoughby to make sure that we have flyers ready to go. We've not gotten the signs yet. You might have seen those in the past. When the signs are ready, we'll be putting them out there so the kids
And
know
they
it's
serve
coming.
drinks as well? I mean,
It'll be milk or juice.
okay.
No beer, open bar.
Yeah, no sodas, no tea.
I want to go to that meal.
Yeah. Talk about summer feeding.
That's after.
We would never have a lack of servants that day. Any other questions?
I'm good.
All right. So in a nutshell, be here at 10:20ish because you want to be at the site at 10:30. They're going to bring the food by 10:45. That is subject to change. If it changes, I will update it through the Sign Up Genius and get information to you. That way we'll let you know. But as of right now, they're delivering at 10:45. Pass it out, deliver. The kids have got to eat there, 18 and under, or someone with a disability. We're not tackling anybody, not zip tying anybody. Clean up messes, tables, bring the tables back. Generally, it's like one group brings the tables back here, the other group takes the food service stuff back to the high school, and I think we're good to go.
And we start cleaning up at noon, right?
But
Buy
yeah,
a truck if it helps.
yeah. And if you have,
Tables everywhere.
sign up is all online. So as of today, we have the minimum for every day. So the minimum's covered for every day, which is great. So now, if there's days you want to serve, that's awesome. We'll just add you to the list.
Okay, what is sign up?
Add me to the list. I've never done this before,
Okay.
so I'm free almost every morning.
Okay.
You know, so however you want to get in contact with
Okay.
me, you know, just call me.
Great.
I usually work at Kroger at night, so I'm free most mornings.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds great. Yeah.
I like it.
She's not on one side.
With the pink version,
Yeah.
whatever, Wednesday.
We're done?
All right, I need to go.